so that way anybody who jumps on can catch it. But I want to just go around and tell us your name and where you're from, and then one victory that you've had this week, whether it's fitness or nutrition or coaching or whatever, but just one thing that was good this week. So whoever wants to start, go right ahead, or I can, it doesn't matter. I
can start.
Okay, go ahead.
I am Sarah Jacobson. I'm from Roscoe, Illinois, so super north, almost to Wisconsin. My victory this week was one of my work colleagues who signed up for our challenge group, signed up just with the on-demand package, didn't do the shakes, didn't do the 21-day fix program. She was doing something else, and after a week and a half in the challenge group, she's like, I want it all. I want to sign up for the challenge pack. I want to be a coach. So that was kind of my victory this week. It's so exciting to see other people love it as much as I do. So that was kind of my victory.
That's awesome. I love when that happens, you know?
I know. It's fun.
Because you can tell people all day long, like, the value that a group provides. And sometimes they kind of just have to see for themselves and then be like, holy cow, like, yeah, totally. I want it all. So,
right.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And are you at 12 now?
Yes.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Exciting. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Who's next?
I'm Amber from North Carolina, the foothills in North Carolina. So one victory this week, getting through 21-day fix extreme. I've lost 4 pounds since Sunday.
Yay.
And like 1.5 inches. So it's doing its job, but it's kicking my ass all over the map. So.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, it's like, I remember when I first did it and I was like, okay, like, this is just a step up from 21-day fix. And you're like, oh, okay. It's like a jump.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And then I'm reading, I'm like, oh, this is for advanced. No wonder why this is kicking my ass.
But it's good. It's good. I mean, I remember I had a lady who out of the gate wanted to do 21-day fix extreme. And she had probably about 150 pounds to lose. And I was like, girl, it's like tough. And she was like, I don't care. I'm going to do it. I'm going to push myself through it. And she did. And she modified the crap out of it. And which I'm like, I modify the crap out of it. But she did great. And she lost like 50 pounds in a few rounds and, or I don't know, 6 or 8 months or whatever. But yeah, like it's, you know, I think we have these programs that we kind of tell people like, well, you can start here. You can start here. One thing that I learned from that Tulin talk when she came to St. Louis for Super Saturday is she's like, I tell all of my girls, no matter what their size is, they're going to start with insanity and they're going to just do it and they're going to do the workouts. I'm like, thank God I didn't find you first because I would have been like, nope, that's not going to work. I love
back out of that real quick.
I love that, you know, that all of our programs can be for any level, even though we have like certain, you know, like suggested for, but still, like, it doesn't matter. Anybody can try them and anybody can do them. And I love that we have modifiers for them all. So that's awesome. So you have 7 pounds to go to hit your goal. Is that right?
Yeah. So really excited.
Yeah.
And I realized that it wasn't the 27th. It was the 17th that I have to lose it all back. Or I have, and so I did a healthy wage and I paid $50 a month for the last 6 months. So equal about $300. If I hit the goal by the 17th, I win $550.
Woo! You'll get there.
So if not, I'll just extend for another 6 months, and the pot will be even bigger at that point. But I was hoping to get it down.
Yeah, you've got time. 4 pounds a week. You've got a couple weeks left, 20 days left or whatever. So yeah, you've got time.
It'll be good.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Leah, you're looking at me with big eyes like, don't make me do this.
I couldn't figure out where the speaker is.
Oh, there.
I couldn't figure out how to unmute it. I was sitting here trying to scroll through it. I was like, wait a minute. So yeah, I'm Leah Blomberg from Farina. I was able to share the all access with a couple people. And so they are still considering it, but I've been kind of hitting them back up saying, hey.
Yeah.
And then I've also lost about 5 pounds. So
in the last week?
Last
Wow.
2 weeks, yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations, girly.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing it.
I'm trying.
You are. You're doing it. Hey, Rusty.
I'm Rusty. Hi. Hopefully you can't hear my kids screaming in the background.
Oh, well, mom life.
Right? So I guess my big victory just happened this morning. My dad's cousin, who I've been talking to since December 31st about the all access pass and everything, she just signed up with the 3-day refresh, kickstart, the whole package, and as a coach, a discount coach. But yay!
Congratulations.
So, pretty excited about that. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Finally have a coach.
No kidding. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. I think I feel like that first one is a little bit like you got to tear the Band-Aid off. And once you're like, you get it, you're like, yeah, okay, keep on going. So
the only thing is she's like, I owe my dad some money. So can we keep this on the down low for right now? So he doesn't find out until he's paid off.
Right.
I'm like, sure. I won't post anything.
Oh my gosh. So I'm Ashley. I'm from the St. Louis area. You guys probably know that. And I mean, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Punta Cana, which was kind of my big victory this past week, was earning that trip, getting it paid for by Beachbody, and taking my husband and kind of giving us the honeymoon that we never had. So it was pretty spectacular. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of that behind the scenes stuff with you guys about Punta Cana and kind of how that works. So the Beachbody Success Club trips are, for every Success Club point you earn, that gives you 10 trip dollars to be spent on like the cost of your trip. So for this next trip in Riviera Maya, I think the rooms are $1,200. They're always all inclusive, and it's $1,200. And then you have the ability to bring another person plus 2 children. So like if we were going to bring all 3 of our kids, we'd have to pay a little bit extra. But like one of my friends brought her husband and her 2 kids all for, that $1,200 price or whatever. So, so if you're hitting, Success Club 10 every month for that 12-month duration, that gives you 1,200 trip dollars in your pocket. Boom, your trip is paid for. So that's kind of a cool goal when you think about it, that Beachbody gives you trip dollars for your Success Club points and stuff like that. And then they, of course you have to pay for your flights and stuff, but all inclusive, I mean, we went to the 5-star restaurants, the fancy places, like all the bars, and didn't have to pay for a drink except for the casino. You have to pay like for your drinks in the casino unless you're gambling. So that was kind of cool. And then, to go out and have like a bottle of wine and like a steak dinner and, have champagne delivered to your room, like all that stuff was included. And we were like, seriously felt like celebrities, and that's how they make everybody feel on these trips. They just spoil the crap out of you. So if you have a goal, or if that's, for me, when I started, I was like, yeah, right. That's not me. Like, I'll never hit that goal. Who am I? Like, I'm just nobody. And just through hard work and determination and growing my online market and stuff like that. And, just deciding that I was going to go all in and, not make any excuses or anything like that. Kind of just has got me there and brought me there. And then they do all kinds of little extra perks for people that have, that do extra things in their businesses, rank advancements and stuff like that. So it was a super fun trip. So, at the very minimum, I say if you're pushing for Success Club every month, Success Club 5, that's a great goal, and you can get a ton of your trip paid for that way. And then they just bill you quarterly. So if you've earned, if the first quarter you have 30 Success Club points, then, that's 300 trip dollars, which they always double them in January. So I feel like January, if you're going to get Success Club points, like do it in January because you're going to get double the amount of trip dollars. But, you know, so that first quarter, they bill you for like $300 or whatever. And then if you have the $300 in Success Club points, they just take it out of your account. So that way you're not being billed, which is pretty cool. So, so in Punta Cana, you know, we didn't do a ton of work. Yeah, I will. There was a couple little, you know, they always do a couple live workouts. So there was an Autumn Calabrese was there, and Chris Downing was there. Because I had hit Success Club 10 before the 10th this month, I got the photo op. So I got to get a picture with Autumn Calabrese and a picture with Chris Downing, which was pretty cool. Because I was like, I'm not going to be a cheesy like fangirl. I'm just going to be normal. And when I got to Autumn, I was like, I love you so much. You're so great. And I just love your workouts and blah, blah, blah. And then I walked out of there and I was like, what? Like, who was that? Who am I? I felt like such an idiot. But I mean, there were people that were crying, and I was like, well, at least I wasn't crying. Like, at least I wasn't that girl. Oh, but it was kind of cool because, you know, you see her programs work and you see how many people get such amazing results and how her workouts have had such an impact on, you know, not just me, but like, you know, those of you that are in my groups that have done her workouts and have had results, and, you know, so many other people that I know that have had really amazing results. It was just really cool to like kind of tell her that and tell her how appreciative I am of her hard work. Chris Downing, the new Shift Shop workout, dang, holy cow. It's going to be, I'm thinking like 21 Day Fix Extreme a little bit, but it's going to be a little bit kind of more like that and Insanity combined. And it's just going to be the workouts. The first week are 25 minutes. The second week, they're 35 minutes. And the third week, they're 45 minutes. And it's a 21-day program. And you get these little agility markers that you put on the floor that you have to like do agility type stuff. And he brings it. He would like, I was in tears because some of the things he was saying, he's so super motivating. He's so like down to earth. The whole time he was pumping everybody up, and he's like, you got this. Like you're not going to quit. You're stronger. You can do these things. Like we're all just one person in this room. We're all like, just get up every day and just do this. And like, just the way that he speaks and the way that his like energy was, it was just like, he's a man of God, and he's like, you know, and it was just really cool to, you know, like, you're put on this earth for something bigger. Like you're put on this earth for something better. And like, you know, God's got your back. And like, it was really cool. So I'm really pumped about that program. It comes out at Summit. I know that they're going to do like a sneak peek on, they usually do a sneak peek on BOD before it comes out. So that'll probably be something we'll have to look forward to. Hopefully in May, June, they usually do like 2 months, like they did the UV2 workout. They'll do like a sneak peek kind of like that. They usually do it like 2 months in advance before it comes out. So hopefully we'll get one in May and another in June before it comes out in July. So keep an eye out for that. Shaun T has some new stuff coming out, which is kind of exciting. And May 16th, I think, is when they're going to announce. So I don't know if a program's coming out in May or if they're just going to announce what comes out in May. But they talked a little bit about that. And I know, you know, I think Insanity Max 30 was the last thing that he had come out, and that's been almost 2 years. Well, Size, I guess, was in there too. But just, I think that's exciting because I know there's a ton of Shaun T fans, just from Insanity and T25 and stuff. And he's really, really motivating too. So to have, another program coming out from him will be pretty cool. And then they talked a little bit about the new matcha and stuff in Shakeology and how that's like integrated now into Shakeology. And it's, I know there's an FAQ in the back office. I don't have it written down, but there's a little bit more information about that. If that's something that, you know, I would just probably suggest at some point to just get familiar with that, what it is. Cause, you know, I know a lot of people, drink matcha tea or whatever because of the benefits, and I don't really know much about it. So that's kind of my own personal goal, is to go research it a little bit. And just so that way I can speak to those people. If I see somebody post about like, I got my Starbucks matcha tea, I'll be like, oh, well, guess what we have now? Haha. So that way we can kind of just inform people a little bit more. about the benefits. And what else? Carl Deichler was there. He popped in. The Jeff Hill that always does the National Wake Up Call, Michael Neiman, they were all there. They were just popping around in the crowd and talking to people. And so that was kind of cool. But apparently Carl had said there is going to be brand new content coming out every month until Summit. So there's going to be something new coming out on Beachbody On Demand every month. I know Shanti Amber, you posted the other day about it. Shanti has like some new kid-friendly workouts that are on there.
Actually, they're older. They're older workouts that he had made. I don't know how old they are, but I was actually contemplating buying the DVDs, and they just put those out on BOD.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what it was.
Yeah, there's 3 there. There's 2 by Shanti and 1 by Tony Horton.
So that's kind of cool. So those of us that have kids, that would probably be a really good idea to just do like a little sample or a video or something of one of those workouts and share that, or just kind of have that in your back pocket. So that way, if you're talking to a mom, like, that's like, I don't think I can do this. I have kids. Like, I never have the time. Like, here you go, put it on the iPad and tell them to get to work while you're getting to work. So, so that way we kind of have that little benefit or perk, I guess, of having on demand too. So between this UV2 coming out in May, I was talking to a fellow coach down there. We were talking about how do you promote this program? Like, I personally don't see myself doing UV2, and I don't know how, it's that new one that's kind of like a Richard Simmonsy type, whatever. I don't know if you guys tried it on BOD, but I know some people love those dance style workouts. I'm not coordinated. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. But I think me personally, it might be something that I get with my mom, and my mom and I try it out, and then I try to promote it that way. Or maybe we do like a test group as a team for in honor of Mother's Day, and team up with your mom and there's a couple different ways to do it. So one of the coaches I was talking to was talking about doing it that way. She's going to use it as like a mother-daughter type thing. You can work out with your mom. And then her mom's like one of her discount coaches. So she was just going to have her mom, people that were older and wanted to talk about it. Her mom could kind of talk about the benefits but that's kind of one way. So I think I'm going to I don't know, next time they do a sneak peek, I'm going to have my mom try it, and maybe we'll do it together. And I don't know, but I think, in my experience with new programs rolling out, you almost have to talk about it at least a couple times, because you never really know who it might benefit. I know I had one girl in our challenge group say, this is right up my alley. I'm totally going to love this. So you never know. You never know who's interested, who's going to benefit from it. So just something to think about. It comes out May 16th, I think. So Leandro, the guy that does it, did like Brazilian butt lift, I think. I don't really know his workouts, but apparently he's like a whack job, and he has like a ton of energy, and he's like super crazy. So it should be a lot of fun. I don't know, but yeah, so that's that. I did have a conversation with Miguel Carrasco, who is the #1 coach in Canada, and he's been coaching for like 6 or 7 years. And I'm in this elite mastermind group, and he's one of the leaders in that group, and he's been a top 10 coach, Millionaires Club, like all this titles and stuff like that. And we had some drinks at a bar, and he was there, and one of the coaches and I were like, we should go talk to him and just tell him we're in the elite group and just see if he has any pointers and stuff for us. Well, we had some drinks, and so I'm sure his pointers were really, really great, but we don't really remember all the things that he had to say. But I will tell you this. One thing that we had talked about was doing various phases of coach training, and how he has a phase 1, which is like a 30-day coach basics, a phase 2, which is like a business building, phase 3, which is like kind of a diamond and above, and a phase 4, which is like, I want to be a millionaire, like I'm going to rock out this business. And he said he uses that, integrates that within his team, and it's worked really well for him because you kind of just move through the different phases. So I do like that idea. I do like having like kind of an ongoing group and kind of a coach training hub. So I'm going to be working on integrating that over the next probably month or two. I'm trying to get an online system down for coach training and stuff like that. So that's something to look out for. If you guys have any kind of like anything that you'd like more info on, or anything that you feel like, we should really put this in the training, or this would be really beneficial to have, as far as trainings, documents, videos, whatever, anything like that, I would love your feedback about any of this. Because if I'm going to try to put this together and make kind of an organized place for it, which I think I'm actually going to try to hire out and find somebody that does stuff like that, because I know nothing, but I'm trying to get this organized because I think it would really benefit now that we're continuing to grow and our team's continuing to get bigger. I just feel like a little bit more of an organized team training would be kind of our next step. So bear with me through that. I know it's going to take some work and some time, but I'm here to help and answer any questions every step of the way. So we are going to be doing an Emerald training this next month. So if you've already done an Emerald training, you can do another one. And that's kind of a next step. We always do our brand new Coach Basics on the first Monday of every month. So Monday, I think, is May 1st. We'll have a new coach training starting that day. So I will put a bunch of info out there tomorrow. And then if you have new coaches or coaches that are interested, or even if you have challengers in your challenge groups that are rocking out your challenge groups and you think they would make a really great coach, talk to them about it and say, listen, you are inspiring, motivating. There are so many great things, so many great attributes that you have that would make you a great coach. And especially if other people are noticing your results, they're being inspired by you. So just something to consider, especially if they're drinking Shakeology, they might want to get it paid for. And that's kind of just another way to talk about that. So new coach training, Emerald training will probably be like on the 8th. So if you have anybody that, has gone through Coach Basics and is ready to kind of take that next step, we'll do that. And then we'll have a Push to Diamond training. This is kind of a 6 weeks till summit, I think, group that's going to start mid-May that Melanie Mitro is going to be running, and several of us are going to contribute. So if you've been through Coach Basics, you've been through Emerald, you feel like you're ready to take it to the next level, then this is going to be a really great training group, because it's going to be such a good collaboration of a ton of leadership within her downline that are really just going to share some great tips, some leadership tips, techniques, and stuff like that, to kind of help you continue to advance your business. So I don't want to take up a ton of time, but I did want to dive into, I had a corporate mentorship call yesterday. Joe Cardone is the Midwest coach guy from 2 to 5 star diamonds. And I work with him on the Market Council, and he's a really great leadership guy. And so I had a call with him yesterday. I posted a link in our team page if anybody wanted to grab a call with him. And so I saw the opportunity, I snatched it up. And one thing that we had talked about was continued growth in your team. He did his calls very individualized for anybody that had any kind of struggles or questions or anything, but we kind of talked a little bit more about leadership and watching your team continue to grow and how to bridge the gap from friend to customer to coach to team leader. And one thing we talked about initially was confidence and getting out of your comfort zone. And he suggested picking up the book, Who Moved My Cheese? I haven't read it. I just put it on reserve from the library, and it's about boosting your confidence. So I really don't know anything about it. But in addition, there is another book called Get Out of Your Own Damn Way. And that one is more I think Who Moved My Cheese is written by a guy. The other one is written by a woman. I've heard really, really great things about that book, Get Out of Your Own Damn Way. So if that's something that you would be interested in, I would say, if confidence is something that you struggle with as far as talking to people, getting out of your comfort zone, inviting, anything like that, these are great books that will help with that. You can always get them on like Audible. I know if you sign up for Audible, they give you like a couple free books for your first month or something to do a trial. So that's something to think about as well. But as far as your own personal business goes, one thing we talked about was the I do phase and the we do phase, and how when you are building a business, you need to spend 80% of your time in the I do phase, in the growing my own personal business, talking to people, inviting, recruiting, rocking out your challenge groups, staying connected with people in your challenge groups, and pumping them up. and spending a lot of time, working on getting your challengers to coaches. So that's a lot of the I do phase, is your own personal business. The we do phase, that's where about 20% of your time needs to be spent. And that's like kind of laying out the groundwork on how you develop a team. So when you're rank advancing coaches and things like that, that's where, your time would need to be spent organizing trainings and stuff like that. And he said, no matter what, no matter what the circumstances are, if you have a team of coaches, you have coaches rank advancing, you're signing new coaches, things like that, always lead from the front. And that's something that I really strive to do as a leader of this team is, I'm showing up every day. I'm inviting every day as much as I don't like to do it. I'm doing it anyway. And because I know that's where I'm going to see the biggest growth in my business is going to come from inviting, recruiting, bringing more people in. Because if there's one problem in this business, like if you have one problem in this business, like I don't have enough money, I don't have enough Success Club points, I don't have enough people rank advancing, the solution is always finding more people. So my goal every month is Success Club 10 minimum. And as far as leading from the front goes, I feel like the more that I can put that out there for my downline, that I'm hitting my milestones and my benchmarks, the more it shows, that you can absolutely do this too. So there's tons of resources in this business. Nobody should have to reinvent the wheel. There's tons of trainings and stuff like that out there. And there's always somebody that's done it first. The benefit of this business is that it's ever changing. So there's always something new that can kind of, somebody tries something new and it works for them. So there's always little things like that are coming out. And I encourage that within this team, you guys, if you have something specific that works for you, to share it, because it only makes it easier for those of us. And, then it's kind of reciprocal. We kind of do the same. So how do we bridge the gap from friend to challenger? That's kind of something I wanted to talk about. And I usually like to do a free group every month. So when you first get started, when you're kind of putting yourself out there, doing a free group is kind of a good idea, because it allows you to connect people on your friends list that have kind of been thinking about doing something, but they're not really sure and they want to get a feel for it. So a lot of people see that word free and they're like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to check this out. So I try to do one free group every month. Now, I didn't do one last month with everything that we had going on, but I'm going to do a free 7-day clean eating and meal prep group starting on May 8th. And I haven't put our calendar out there, but that's something that we can absolutely run as a team. I have no problem, doing that. And I plan on putting together like a 7-day Google Doc. So that way we can just copy and paste from there. We can share recipes. We can share tips and tricks that work for us as far as meal planning. And I'll put together a 7-day sample menu. So that's something May 8th we can start promoting, talk about, share, and just collect a list of people. And whenever I do a free group, this is exactly what I do. I have all my people and I write them on a sheet. And that way, a week after my free group wraps, I go back within that week and I connect with every single person and I ask them what they got out of it. What did you love most? And I keep that positive talk, because it's so important to tell, what did you love the most? Because when you say, what did you love the most? Chances are people aren't going to be like, I hated it. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love the meal plan, or I love all the recipes. And you're going to shift their mindset into thinking that what you're doing, not that it's not, but then they're thinking, she's absolutely 100% able to help me. She's positive. And they think of you more, they might be on your friends list and you might not be like close friends, but then they start to think of you more as a friend because you've helped them with something that they have a need for, which is why they joined your group in the first place. So then they begin to see the value that you provide. So then when it comes time for your challenge group, no, you're not going to have all those people that joined your free group sign up for your challenge group, but you might get 1, or you might get 5, or you might start to build that relationship to where people see the importance of the value that you provide and they want more. They're like, you know what, I really do need to lose 20 pounds. So I think I might do this group thing. Or at least they're going to reach out, or they're going to start following you, and they're going to start seeing how you're continuing to provide value. So that is a great way, a free group, to do a fit club if that's something that you're into, but to be able to provide that kind of opportunity for people to join and just get the experience, give them a taste of what it is that you do. So this month, I think we've had kind of a big need for, I always get a ton of people that ask about meal prep and nutrition and stuff like that. I think that's probably the biggest struggle for most people. And if you go on Pinterest, you'll see a ton of people are searching 21-day fix recipes or meal prep ideas or sample menus and stuff. So being able to provide that and do it for free is kind of a benefit. And then that's kind of just how we bridge the gap into challengers. And when we talk to people and go back and ask them what the benefit was for them from the free group, we can always introduce that challenge group. Well, if you're interested in our next group, I have a 30-day, more in-depth fitness and nutrition group that starts on May 21st. If that's something that interests you, I'm more than happy to share more information with you. So that's kind of what I do to bridge that gap, to move towards the next step, because it's kind of an indirect invite. And then you start to, build those relationships and get them in as challengers. And then from challenger to coach, I feel like that's kind of a tough step because we sign people up as discount coaches, and that's fine because then they get the same discount that we do. Whenever I sign somebody up as a discount, I give them that benefit too. And I say, listen, not only do you get the 25% off discount, but if you ever decide that that you want to earn an income or get your Shakeology paid for, you're already set up for that. So then within your groups, bridging the gap from challenger to coach, a lot of people give us excuses. We say you would make a really great coach, and they're like, no way, there's no way I could do that. I could never put myself in your shoes, or I could never get out of my comfort zone. But the number one question to ask somebody in your group about potentially becoming a coach is, has anybody else noticed your transformation yet? And just ask. And when they think about it, and they think about, yeah, my sister and my mom, my coworkers, somebody else has noticed. That's when you can say, well, you're already inspiring people. You've seen them share their stuff on social media. You've seen them share maybe a transformation, or you've seen them share a picture of their shake or something else, or they're posting motivational quotes. And that kind of helps give you an in to talk to them a little bit more too. You're already doing the things that a coach does. Why not get paid for it, And sometimes just helping them connect the dots, you kind of paint a picture for them, and they're like, you're right. I kind of am doing stuff that a coach is doing. I could totally do this. So just kind of putting that out there, that's kind of a great way to talk to people about potentially moving into coach level, and always letting them know, we have brand new coach training that starts on the first Monday of every month. And it's not something that you have to do alone. It's something that we absolutely help you with as a team. And then just setting up expectations at the beginning of your challenge groups. Everybody, and maybe this is a great time to do a live video, or at least do a post and say, you know what, thank you for being here. Thank you for entrusting me to help you meet your health and fitness goals. Not only anybody could go to the gym. Anybody can go get a gym membership. Anybody can go to Target and get a shake. Anybody can buy a workout DVD from Walmart and do it from home. And you can go do all of those things on your own. But what you get here is the support. What you get here is the connectivity, the unity, the group setting, the accountability, and just the ability to connect with other people who are on a similar journey. talk about that social support and how important it is that people connect with each other in the group, how important it is that they encourage and support one another and lift each other up, because you guys know, it's okay to do it alone, but I mean, sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's really hard. And sometimes we throw in the towel right away. But you guys know, with the support of a group, how much better have our results been, because we've been able to be held accountable, because we've had other people and maybe it's not been your coach. Maybe there's somebody else in the group that you've connected with too, that's kind of helped pick you up when you were down, or, somebody that kind of inspired you on their journey, that, you woke up and you checked into the group and you saw all these people were working out and you're like, dang, I better get my butt in gear. So, just that has made it a game changer for so many people. So just kind of putting those expectations out there and encouraging people in your groups and encouraging your new customers, new clients, to help support and encourage one another. And it already kind of gets them in the coaching mindset. And one thing I like to do, and you guys know this, is I like to introduce personal development in my challenge groups, because that's such an important part of coaching too, personal development. And when you can put it out there in your challenge groups and get people in that mindset that they should be listening to podcasts and they should be like, maybe spend 20 minutes of your day like reading a book instead of watching the Kardashians or something. And you know what? It's going to make a huge difference in your mindset. It really is, especially if they have something that they're struggling with personally or nutrition wise, to throw out a really good podcast or something that's going to kind of help lift their vibe and boost their mood. So I think that's all I have, except for one little closing. And that was that, this business is built on support and accountability. And when we can support and encourage other people and show them that we can help keep them accountable to their goals, we're going to continue to have great success. Share each other's transformations, share each other's goals and victories, and talk about the things that come out of an accountability group. Talk about the things that, your own personal benefits, your own personal stories. Those are always great to share. I heard from one top coach who every Tuesday she does her own Transformation Tuesday, and she posts some kind of a transformation about herself since she started on this journey. Maybe she goes through old pictures and finds an old picture and puts it with a new one, or she shares something about, here's my transformation. Like, this used to be a soda from the gas station that I would drink all the time, and now it's, bottled water, or it's a shake or something like that. Little things like that help. And it helps put that emotion out there, and people are more connected with emotion than they are with anything else. Emotion is 95% of why people enroll in this business, because they see, they feel, they experience, and they want that. So I found this quote: sell the problem you solve, not the product. And when you think about it that way, sell the problem you solve, not the product. When you can share the weight loss successes, the more energy, the victories over postpartum depression, the victories over anxiety, when you can share those things that have been resolved because of this, maybe you were like me and you were kind of an introvert and didn't have a ton of friends that you talk to on a regular basis. And now you have an amazing team of incredible women that, you love to talk to and see their face online and, hopefully meet someday in person. But, just so many great things like that. And when you talk about those solutions to whatever it is, issues that people have, then that's usually where, where we see those big victories. So moving forward, tracker is important. I have posted them in our group before, or in our team page. Tracking your actions is so very important. If you're just, pushing to get your shakes paid for, Success Club, things like that. I always say at least 3 people a day. And that doesn't mean you have to invite 3 people to join a challenge group. That just means 3 connections. Aim for 3 connections, aim to follow up with 3 people, and stay in that 80% I do phase. And if your goal is bigger, if your goal is 5 figures a year, or, paying off your car payment every month or your mortgage, then you need to bump that number up. So 5 to 10 connections every day, follow-ups and things like that. And I always say, try to match those numbers, like your new connections, your follow-ups, and then like friends that you're adding. So, 3 a day is great for connections and follow-ups, and then adding 3 new contacts a day. If you want to grow your business astronomically, then bump that number up to 10. So mine is 10 right now, which I don't always get done. But if I can try to catch up on the weekends and stuff like that, that kind of helps me. So print out that activity tracker, use that if you need to. Print out a go for no sheet, use that if you need to. But keeping track of those conversations is really going to help give you a focus on, who do I need to go back to? Who do I need to follow up with? Whenever I talk to somebody early in the month and they're like, actually, no, I'll catch your next group, then I put their name on the calendar at the end of the month. So that way I know that last week of the month to go back to them and talk to them about my next upcoming group. Especially if I'm like pushing for a Success Club goal and it's the late in the month and I'm like, oh man, I got to find those people that are ready. So it's always good to go back and remind people and kind of remind them of why they were interested in the first place. If it was weight loss or nutrition or meal planning or whatever it is, kind of giving them that little boost. So I'm going to work on getting a calendar out for May and hopefully roll that out tomorrow so you guys have an idea. Any questions or anything right now? Anybody? Sarah, I think you had a question about leads, and I answered in your comments. I don't know the specifics on the lead program. I know that there's a lot of detail there's a training in the online office under the training tab, the customer lead program. So once you are an Emerald coach, you've rank advanced, you've hit Success Club, and like your profile is all set up, then Beachbody gives you free leads. So once you're like Success Club 5, you'll see you'll get in your notifications in your online office, 1 new customer. And you're like, huh? Who's my new customer? And you go in and you look and it's like John Smith. And you're like, oh, super. Like somebody signed up on beachbody.com and they signed up to get a free coach, and then you're their free coach. So I just had a girl message me last night. She signed up for a free on-demand trial. And I'm not her coach, but she's like, I think I want to do the all-inclusive, all-access thing. Like, tell me what I need to do, because I don't want just the free trial. I want all the stuff. And I'm like, yay, like that's, and it's nice when you get a customer like that signs up for the free trial and you can talk to them a little bit more. And then that's like an extra free 2 Success Club points, so it's kind of cool when you hit those goals that Beachbody continues to reward you. So we have a good weekend coming up. If, the all access is extended into August. They're going to do the $160 price until I think August 1st, which is incredible. But if you're not at Success Club, if you're pushing for Success Club, I've done this numerous times. I just promote the heck out of it. And then on May 1st, I'm like, surprise, the price has been extended. So, that way, if you're trying to get those last Success Club points in, then promote the crap out of it. This is the end of the month. This deal is only going until April 30th. Technically, you're not lying, because Beachbody said this deal is going until April 30th. They just happen to extend it. And nobody's going to know. So, all right, Sarah, yeah, go ahead. We're wrapping up anyway. So if you're pushing for Success Club, talk to those last few people, talk to those people earlier in the month, let them know, like, you can still get that promo right now. Especially if you sign up. Our group is in week 1. I can catch you up, we're going until Memorial Day or whatever. So I kind of just go back and remind those people. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Any questions you guys have, you can post them in the comments I'll post the recording here shortly, and I'll get a calendar up and going. And yeah, we'll finish out this month strong and rock out May. I'm excited. All right, ladies. Well, thanks for getting on. You guys have an awesome weekend. All right. Bye.